Are we live? Are we live? Should be. Looks like it. Alright, cool. So, normally I'd just make this into a video, but we have some, we have some things to celebrate. So we just got to 40 subscribers. This is gonna also kind of be a 40 subscriber special live stream. Also, 350 videos celebration. And, yeah, for whatever reason, this video of my cat Naki I put up it's getting a lot of views. In fact, it's already gotten like 10 views today. In the YouTube studio says it's gotten like 700. I don't know. But still. So, that's not what you're here for, though. You're here to find out what happened during all these NASCAR races that I keep not being able to do. So, yeah, let's get into it. So starting off, we have Talladega. This is going to be a good start. So, the first major event was at lap 27, making his Cup Series debut. Harrison Burton, he brings the gas can out of out of his pit box. So the gas can seemed to get stuck in to the to where the fuel is taken into the car. So he got stuck there, and he was able to get it off, but still, it was long gone near the start-finish line. Then, while Fox was on commercial break, Joey Gase decided that was the perfect time to spin. And then Joey Logano has the first flip of the season out of any top 3 series. He flipped over, and yeah, it was a big one, but not too big. It's just a little bit. And just all that, so he flipped over to half flip, and he landed swinging pretty hard on his roof, and then just kind of spun on his roof, and it rolled back over on its wheels and slid down the banking. It wasn't that bad. And yeah, I just saw a video, and I thought it was funny. So Joey Logano, he's aggressive, right? He usually blocks. Yeah, the one time he doesn't block, he gets turned on his roof. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so Matty Benedetto later won stage 1. He got his first ever stage win. And then with 16 to go in stage 2, Kurt Busch's car caught on fire. With 2 to go in stage 2, another kind of big one happens. It was Denny Hamlin and then a bunch of the Hendrick guys. I think the only Hendrick guy that wasn't in it was Kyle Larson, but that was because they blew an engine earlier. But they mostly survived. And Bubba Wallace gets his first stage win ever in stage 2. Then with 34 laps to go, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. spins on pit road. With 17 laps to go, Quinn Oof hits the wall and brings out a caution. It's actually Quinn Half, but everybody calls him Quinn Oof. So, yeah, we're just going to go by that. 7 laps to go, Martin Truex Jr. reports a left rear tire issue to his pit crew. And then Martin Truex Jr. actually brings out the caution because, yeah, so, yeah, let's just say the entire tire came off. The wheels stayed on, but the tire came off. So that put us into overtime. Brad Keselowski won, and while that was happening, Eric Jones and Ross Chastain hit the wall behind them. It was a pretty good Talladega race, so I'm going to give that one I'll give it an 85 out of 100. It's a good race. All right, next up, we're at Kansas, and with 42 laps to go in stage 1, Ryan Newman gets penalized for unapproved body modification on pit road, and then Kyle Busch wins stage 1. Cody Ware spins out with 37 laps to go in stage 2, and then Kyle Larson wins stage 2. Bubba Wallace and Alex Bowman hits the wall with 53 to go. Tyler Reddick has an uncontrolled tire. Now, this was the controversy from this race. There was an uncontrolled tire, and they let it sit there for about 25 laps without throwing a caution because they wanted everyone to pit cycle through. And Chris Buescher would have had a big benefit from that. but they were waiting for him to pit, and then he pitted because he had to. At that point, he was like, I think he actually ran 2 laps over what they thought he could at that point, and he had to pit. And then NASCAR decided, and NASCAR after he pitted threw the caution. But yeah, then they finally threw the caution for the uncontrolled tire. Kevin Harvick has an uncontrolled tire as well with Daniel Suarez. Denny Hamlin hit the wall with 25 laps to go, trying to keep Kyle Larson from taking the lead, and Kyle Larson takes the lead because of that. With 23 laps to go, Denny Hamlin hits the wall again after blowing a tire, and that brings out a caution. Austin Dillon hits the wall with 15 laps to go, no caution, and he did that from the 5th position. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. spins. He got loose underneath Austin Cindric. Hits the wall, and he brought out a caution. And then with 10 laps to go, we had Christopher Bell's spin, and he got Ryan Preece and Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who caught fire and then got out of the race. And we had a green-white checkered restart. Larson and Blaney almost wrecked, but Blaney was able to save it. And then Kyle Busch wins the... You're going to laugh at this name, okay? Ready? The Bushy McBush Race 400. Won by Kyle Busch. Oh, yes, I am the executive of the Busch Company, and I have decided that the perfect way to name this race is make a fan vote, because I know they are going to vote the most ridiculous name ever of all time. Yes, that is a great idea. All right. Next up is Darlington for the this is the throwback race. It wasn't the Southern 500. It was just a throwback race. Now, on lap 6, I think Mike Joyce had a really good line, because it's supposed to be the throwback race. It's supposed to throw back to the history of the sport in cars from like the 80s and 90s and the early 2000s and even the 70s and 60s. And it's supposed to be a tribute to those drivers. Now, some drivers don't do the throwback. And one of those drivers was Kurt Busch. And Mike Joyce has a pretty good quote about it. Kurt Busch throwing back to last week's car while he's just casually going down the middle of the straightaway. This is also the race where Mike Joy was just killing Jeff Gordon and Clint Boyer in terms of NASCAR knowledge. Oh my gosh, he was destroying everybody. And then we had Eric Almirola hit the wall and throw a caution, I believe, on the same lap. Then we had Kyle Busch spin at lap 22, and Martin Truex Jr. won stage 1. Lap 99, Cole Custer hits the wall pretty hard. Almirola hit it hard too, but Cole Custer hit it a little bit harder. Lap 107, Kurt Busch is in the wall and his car catches fire. And then Martin Truex Jr. wins stage 2. Ryan Blaney hits the wall with the Darlington stripe, not too big, but just the Darlington stripe with 22 laps to go. Martin Truex Jr. wins the race. It was a pretty average race, but I'm going to give it the Darlington race 80%. All right, next up is the inaugural Circuit of the Americas, or COTA race. Interesting pit strategy at the beginning because of rain coming, but it wasn't really that strong. So it was like, do we put on the slick or wet tires? And then in lap 8, Daniel Suarez got stuck in a gear because he broke his transmission. Then Denny Hamlin spun at lap 10. No, it isn't. Garrett Smithley misses the turn and goes into the gravel, then spins. He had to go to the gravel at lap 12. Corey LaJoie goes off the course. Lap 13. William Byron gets heavy right rear damage, and Matty Benedetto gets heavy left front damage because he locked up the tire. It might have been right front, but either way, that was at lap 14. Also lap 14, Brad Keselowski spins. This is all stage 1. Lap 15, William Byron pits with the right rear tire down. Lap 15, Ross Chastain misses a turn, and Joey Logano wins stage 1. That was my 10th note. Lap 19, Ryan Newman spins. Lap 20. Oh yeah, there was a crash, and no one really knew what happened. So what happened was we knew that Bubba Wallace, Christopher Bell, Ryan Blaney, and Kevin Harvick, and maybe Brad Keselowski had a little bit of damage, but it wasn't much. And Kevin Harvick were in a crash. We could see what happened with Blaney and Christopher Bell. The visibility had they had to slow them down. Blaney was slowing down, and Christopher Bell couldn't see because of all the rain that was down on the track because it was raining, like as I mentioned earlier. And they had, so he ran into the back of him, and then apparently Kevin Harvick was reacting to that in front of him, and Bubba Wallace ran into the back of him, and Harvick got some air, seemed like, from his onboard camera, and then he even hit the wall, so he was out for the first time since Bristol 2019. That was the first time he's been out since then, so that's pretty impressive to keep going for that many races without getting a DNF. That's even surviving the plate tracks. Then a couple laps later, we had a massive crash. We had Cole Custer and Martin Truex Jr. crash. So Martin Truex Jr. ran into the back of Michael McDowell due to poor visibility. And then he was slowing down, and Cole Custer couldn't see, and he just nailed him from behind. And Truex was on top of Cole Custer, almost flipped over when he came back down, but he just went on his side for a little bit, came back down. And then Cole Custer hit the arm barrier on the corner. Luckily, there was a little bit of foam there to help the impact. But then right about that time, we had the Air Titans come out to dry off the back straightaway, because that's a 3/4 mile long back straightaway. So that's a pretty fast part of the track. They had to dry that off. They were going to keep racing. Then Kyle Busch won stage 2. Brad Keselowski spun on lap 36. Tyler Reddick spun on lap 39. Kurt Busch barely misses Kyle Busch and just slightly taps Austin Dillon. The broadcast was saying that he didn't, but realistically, he did slightly tap him. Austin Cindric does a 360. I didn't see what lap that was. All I knew is it happened. It might have been under commercial break. And then 14 laps to go. They had to throw a red flag once again for rain. And, and they were under red, and under red, and under red, and it was getting dark out, and they're at a road course. And guess who was leading? My guy this season, Chase Elliott, and they called it. Chase Elliott won. 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 Yeah, in case you don't know, I'm rooting for Chase Elliott this year. And he won. So, I am happy. So just because of Chase Elliott winning alone, this is at least at 90%. But it was a good race. I feel like there was some controversy if they should have driven the back straightaway after the first big wreck. I think it was a good call to wait, because you don't know if that first one was just a fluke. Like, I think NASCAR was thinking, like, okay, well, an accident like this could happen. It might happen again, but I don't know if it will. And then we had a big crash, and then we had a massive wreck, and it's like, oh yeah, we need to fix this. I think they made a good call, because it's like, all right, that could have just been something that happened out of the blue. I mean, we've seen spins all over the place, and we can't do anything about that. And it's all been in different corners. So I don't know if this is just like one of those things, and then if it happens again, you gotta fix it. But so Chase Elliott won the inaugural race at COTA. In terms of rating the race, I'm gonna give it a 93%. It was a good race. All right, we only have 4 races left. How many have we done so far? 4. Being 8 races. All right. So, this is going to be a pretty easy race. All right, so Kyle Larson puts on a clinic to win stage 1. Kyle Larson wins stage 2. Chip Ganassi cars have an oil line issue. James Davidson makes a save. Kyle Larson wins stage 3, because in the Coca-Cola 600, there's 4 stages, since it's a 600-mile race. Kyle Busch was being aggressive, and then Kyle Larson, he won the Coca-Cola 600. And Hendrick Motorsports becomes the most winning team in NASCAR history. 269 wins total at that point. So top 20 finish. Yep. Right. The race. It was a pretty good race. So we're gonna give it a. Maybe. I guess. I don't know. Then we had the Dover race. It's next on the list. So Kyle Busch blows an engine. Now I wasn't able to watch a good amount of this race, like stage one, because if you see my vacation documentary, I was coming back from Cleveland, so I heard it on the radio. I knew it was happening, but I couldn't actually watch it on the TV. But I marked notes as best as I can. So Kyle Busch blows an engine. Chase Briscoe hits the wall. Kyle Larson sweeps the stages, and then Eric Almirola blows a tire and catches fire after hitting the wall at lap 302. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. dumps Anthony Alfredo, and Alfredo spins. Alex Bowman won Dover, but here is the interesting part. Hendrick Motorsports went 1, 2, 3, 4 out of their 4 drivers in the race. They finished top 4. All 4 cars that Hendrick owns finished top 4. That is insane. It took 5 other teams just to fill out the top 10. So Alex Bowman won. Then Kyle Larson got second. Chase Elliott got third, I believe. And then William Byron got fourth. They were all in 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's pretty good. Just for the time for me to judge theirs. Just on how dominant Hendrick was and how much I like Hendrick. 85. Next up, Sonoma. Kyle Larson wins stage 1. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. hits and breaks the concrete wall. Kyle Larson wins stage 2. Alex Bowman goes off course. Quinn Houff blows an engine. 14 laps to go. Corey LaJoie spins. And they all stacked up behind him. James Davidson goes through the grass. Ryan Preece and Cody Ware make contact with 5 laps to go. And they all spin and wreck and bring out a caution. We go into overtime. Anthony Alfredo spins with 3 laps to go. Actually, that's what brought out the caution to get us in the overtime. And then Kyle Larson won at Sonoma. Kyle Larson is fast this year. And in fact, if you thought we were done with Kyle Larson, you'd be wrong. Because as we head to the All-Star Open in the All-Star race, well, you'll see. All right. In terms of rating the Sonoma race, it was pretty boring. So that's going to get a 70. All right. All-Star race and Open. So this is going to be the All-Star Open. Some spins and crashes happened. I didn't see it because I didn't know the All-Star Open started that early. But I did hear Ross Chastain won stage 1 to get into the All-Star race. Tyler Reddick won stage 2 to get into the All-Star race. And Eric Almirola won stage 3 by getting in the All-Star race. And Matthew Benedetto won the fan vote to get into the All-Star race, which is kind of surprising. I thought Bubba Wallace might have had a chance, but I did think Matthew Benedetto would have a good chance. And then, everybody was rocking out to I Can't Drive 55 when Sammy Agar was playing it live. That actually kind of worked out perfectly because while they were doing pace laps, he was doing his thing. Or doing a little one-song concert. And, right when he finished, they were coming out of turn 4, and they were coming to the green flag to start the All-Star. So that worked out perfectly. The Kyle and Kyle show returns with Kyle Busch and Kyle Larson. Christopher Bell makes a good save, and Kyle Larson wins round 1. The fan votes that the top 12 cars will invert for the end of round 1. Yes, this had a very confusing format, in case you're wondering. Ryan Blaney makes a save, and later on in that round, he won. After the full field inversion, we had round 3 with Alex Bowman winning. We have a 9-car invert for round 4. William Byron won round 4. Ross Chastain spins in turn 2 as Chase Elliott wins round 5. And for the second time in his career and second time he's been in the All-Star race, not in a row, but for the second time, he's won the last 2 All-Star races he's been in now. Kyle Larson wins $1 million for the second time. And a pick in the $100,000 pick crew challenge. Yep, that went to Chase Elliott. So, good day for Hendrick. Good day for Hendrick in the All-Star. So, I'm gonna give this race a, just because I'm bored of seeing Larson dominant, a 71. Yeah, 71. So that is gonna do it for this stream. Yeah, not really much else to do. If you enjoyed it, leave a like and be sure to subscribe because we just got 2 overnight subscribers, so now I'm at 40. So this stream also doubles as a 40 subscriber celebration. But yeah, so if you want to see more live streams, leave a like to let me know, and guess I'll see you in the next video or live stream. You never know which one it's gonna be.